Today, I want to start getting a little bit more specific around how you can save time inside Canva. This is part 3 on a series that I'm doing on that exact subject. And the first 2 episodes, we really worked on your Canva workflow and your Canva brand foundations, which honestly, they are going to be even more impactful than what I'm going to share with you today. So make sure you've watched those. But today's episode is where we start to get much more nitty gritty on exact little things and techniques that you can do inside Canva to start saving you time. Now, I don't want you to implement everything I'm going to share with you today straight away, but just pick your favorite one or two, start using them, then come back and implement an extra one or two, and you will be surprised at how quickly your Canva workflow increases so that you can start spending time in your business where you want to be spending time rather than getting stuck in the weeds of designing and getting frustrated and never wanting to touch Canva again, which would not help your business grow. So let's dive into this last episode. So welcome, my name is Jacqui. It is such a pleasure to have you here. If we haven't met yet, I am a graphic designer who loves helping everyday business owners just like you create their own incredible branding and graphics using programs just like Canva and using them strategically, not just about creating pretty graphics, not about wasting time going down endless rabbit holes inside Canva, but using it well. And so today I'm going to share with you some more practical tips on how we can save time inside Canva. The first part I'm going to share with you are Canva shortcuts. Now, most people when they're working really slow inside Canva, it's because they're just using their mouse. And I'm referring to using your computer for Canva. I find using my phone or my iPad really tricky for Canva. So if you can help it, if you've got a laptop at your disposal, highly recommend using a laptop or a computer instead. And that's already a time-saving Canva tip. I find it so much faster on my laptop because you've got all of the tools there. And so once you're using your laptop, a lot of people are just using their mouse. They're just moving, clicking, moving, clicking, moving, clicking, and it can get really monotonous. And so what Canva shortcuts are ways to speed up your process by clicking things on your keyboard as well as clicking things on your mouse. And so I want to share with you a couple of my favorites now. Now again, don't choose all of these to learn straight away if you don't know them all. Just pick one or two that you see will be helpful and then come back and pick up some more. Now, one Canva shortcut that is really helpful is to group your items. Now you can use a shortcut for this or you can again click your mouse to do it, but it is actually a really important principle in general to start to group your elements together. What I mean by this is if you are working on a design and you have a box with some text in it, maybe a shadow under that box and a few things kind of going on. If you need to move that box around and you're trying to work out your layout, what you can actually do is group these items together, group your box, your text and your shadow all together so that you can move them all at once all of the time. Rather than having to select all of them or move each of them separately, which would be even worse, you're going to select all of them and then group them together. To select multiple things, you're going to hold down Shift on your keyboard and then click on the next item and then click on the next item. And once you've selected everything you want to group, could be 2 things, could be 20 things. 20 is getting a lot, it get quite stressful, but it's possible. Hold down Shift, select all of them together, and then you can group them. So you can either press the little group button that'll pop up when you have those items selected, or if you'd like the shortcut for it, just press Ctrl+G on your keyboard and it will group those together. If you're on a Mac, make sure you're pressing Command+G. All right, so that's a big one. The next one I want to share with you is Ctrl+D. Ctrl+D is going to duplicate things. So this can duplicate an item. This can even duplicate a page. If you're working with multiple pages, like I shared with you last week, you can actually click on that page and just press Ctrl+D and it will make another one. Or you can click on an element and press Ctrl+D and it'll make another one. Or you can click on the text box and press Ctrl+D and guess what? Going to make another one. And again, this just stops you from recreating something that you've already got and using it again. Now, again, you can click on an item, right click on it and press duplicate. That will also work, but this shortcut will help you to do that even faster. If you're on a Mac, make sure you're pressing Command+G rather than Ctrl+G and you'll have that exact same shortcut at your disposal. Now, I'm going to share with you one more here because it is hard to share with you on a podcast kind of format. And I'm going to share with you just in a second how you can watch me doing all of these visually, plus sharing some more of my top favorite shortcuts. But another one is just really obvious, but if you don't know that it's there, you're going to thank me for teaching you. But Ctrl+Z or Ctrl+Z if you're not in Australia. Ctrl+Z is what you're going to use to undo something. If you've done something and you want to undo that thing, you're like, you know what, that was a bad decision. I didn't want to move that there. I didn't want to add that thing, or I didn't want to change that color. Just press Ctrl+Z or Command+Z if you're on Mac, and that will undo it. Again, you can do this manually by clicking the little back arrow at the very top of your Canva design, but doing that shortcut is going to save you a lot of time because I am honestly undoing things left, right, and center. Something else you can also do is redo something. So if you've undone something, you're like, you know what? Actually, I want that back. You can press Ctrl+Shift+Z and it's going to bring it back. So Ctrl+Shift+Z or Command on Mac, Command+Shift+Z, and it's going to bring it back. It's going to redo it, which is honestly amazing. Now, it's kind of hard to describe these things on the podcast kind of format. So if you would like to see me doing these things in practice, I'd love to invite you to a free masterclass I have running. It's called The Design Tools to Get to 100K. And in that session, I'm going to share with you a ton of incredible things. I'll share with you more of that at the end. But there is a whole section just on my favorite Canva shortcuts. And there are some doozies in there that are going to save you even more time. So start implementing those three I've just shared. Ctrl+G, Ctrl+D, and Ctrl+Z, and start using those. And then when you want to get some more, make sure you watch that masterclass. Or if you'd like to see those ones in practice, make sure you hit up that masterclass. It's going to be game changing for how much time you are saving. And the best part is that once you learn these shortcuts, it's actually going to become muscle memory. I used to have a lot of trouble even explaining how I was doing these shortcuts because I literally wasn't thinking about it anymore. I wanted to undo something and my fingers would naturally go Ctrl+Z, Ctrl+Z, Ctrl+Shift+Z, and I wouldn't even be thinking about it. So let yourself learn these. Like I shared at the start around choosing my tea and having that be a really monotonous process for me, soon that's going to become automatic for me. And that's the same with these shortcuts. If you use these over and over again, it's going to become muscle memory and your brain's going to use them without you even having to consciously say, hey brain, press Ctrl+Z, Ctrl+Z. All right, it's going to become second nature to you and it's going to save you so much time. The next practical Canva feature I want to share with you, which I mentioned in our first episode and I told you I was going to get more into it, and now is that time, is a new feature in Canva called components. Now, components are one item or multiple items. It's kind of like grouping an element, but grouping an element and then saving it for future use over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And so if you have like a way you like to do your buttons or a way you like to arrange a box or a little graphic you love adding into your designs, like I love adding in little textured backgrounds or little like retro collage cutout kind of graphics. Whatever I'm doing, I can actually save any of those things as a Canva component. Components are pretty much, just a set of things or a single thing that you can save and access ongoing inside your Canva. You can either save these to your brand kit or you can just save these to a component kind of section and access it from there. And a beautiful thing about components is you can actually say if I made a component have a particular phrase on it and I can either update that phrase every single time I use that component, or if I want to, like, say I've updated my Instagram handle and I save my Instagram handle as a component, but then one day I change my Instagram handle and I want that to update on all the graphics I've ever used an Instagram handle on, I can actually update my component and it will update the text across those different graphics once I select that I want it to do so. So there's a few cool ways that you can use components to kind of work smarter and not harder. My personal way is just to kind of save brand elements that we can use again and again. If you're doing a kind of a particular part of a graphic really regularly, save that as a component too, and you can reuse that over and over again. If you ever need to bulk change it, you can do that too. So just as a brief summary, if you want to do a component, you would either select all the parts of the component or just the one part, depending on if you're doing a group or a singular element. You would right click on it and there's just a little button there that says create component. And when you press create component, you're going to have some options of naming it and where you want to save it. Once you do that, you can access it over and over again. You can also update that component when you need to as well. Now, again, this is tricky to explain on a podcast kind of medium. So I have a whole Canva tutorial already created that you can watch in your own time to start using Canva components. It's going to give you all the nitty gritties, some really practical examples, and show you visually how it all works in a couple of clicks. Next, I want to share with you a little secret method that I want you to start implementing when you finish designing in Canva. And it's called the 5-minute Canva Session Reset. And I want you to do 3 things every time you finish a Canva design. Obviously, you're probably not going to do this every single time, but if you can do this even 60% of the time, you're going to have future you thanking you over and over again because you've made some really wise decisions in the past. So at the end of every Canva session, so what I mean is like when you're leaving Canva or you're finishing a Canva design, I want you to try to do these 3 things. The first thing is to name your Canva file. This is the most boring and underrated time-saving trick inside Canva. I can't tell you how much time I have saved by searching up a design in Canva that I've made in the past that I want to reuse or edit because I've named it correctly. So when you create a design, name it. And if you haven't named it when you created it, this Canva Session Reset is going to help you to catch that before you accidentally leave that design and leave it while it's called untitled or just the default first piece of text you added into that design that Canva thought, oh, let's name it this. Totally wrong. So before you leave, edit the name of that design. And the name of a design doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can make it really long. You could say like Instagram post for saving time on Canva, or Q3 Instagram post. If you caught my last episode, you know exactly what I mean there. Or flyer for X. Like, give it a proper name so you can then go back and refer to it when needed. The second step is what's going to help catch you from just getting distracted with fancy things on Canva and not actually being committed to your brand. When we commit to our brand, we start to become recognizable and our audience can start to create a relationship with us and they can start to understand what you're about, and you look professional because you're being consistent in the way that you're showing up. So every time you're about to finish a Canva design, I want you to check, have I used my own brand fonts and colors? Have I used my own brand? That's what I want you to ask yourself. Have I used my own brand colors? Have I used my own brand fonts? Is everything on brand for me? Or have I strayed? Did I add in a random different color that's totally not on my brand because I thought it looked cute? If so, either add that to your brand and use it ongoing or replace it with a brand color. Now, my students sometimes get in their head about this as a side point. They're like, oh, Jacqui, this is my blue, but I wanted to use a slightly lighter blue because the contrast wasn't strong enough on this text and it was becoming unreadable. That's okay. If you're using a slightly lighter tone of your blue, but it's the same kind of tone, it's the same kind of vibrancy, it's the same kind of feel, that's okay. We don't want to do this all the time. And ideally, if we were doing it all the time, we would add that extra shade of blue into our brand kit to use ongoing. But in essence, the biggest thing I want you to do is, are these colors my brand colors? Is these fonts my brand fonts? And just double check that you're using your brand every time you export and finish a design inside Canva. All right, and then step 3 of my Canva 5-minute reset is to check, have I used any new brand elements in this? In the first part of this series, I shared with you that you should be creating a set of brand elements that you use. So little illustrations or patterns or textures, icons that you're using in your designs regularly to give you a signature style. What I also said in that episode is that you might find that you build on this. You might find a new little element that fits your brand style, your overall look, but you haven't used that before. You might find a new kind of collage element to add, or you might find a new way of doing a line or a cool new shadow to create a cool new look. When you find that new element and use it in your designs, save it. So I want you, as part of this 5-minute Canva reset, you're going to rename your file, you're going to check everything's on brand, and then you're going to see, have I used any new elements in this design I might want to use in the future? And save those to your brand kit. Save them to your brand kit, save it as a component, or save it to your brand kit folder, however you're managing your elements. There's multiple ways, but save it so you can use it ongoing for future graphics, and future you is going to thank you and have a lot of time saved because of it. So I hope you found this series wildly useful. I just know that when you implement these things, you are going to save so many hours inside Canva. And I want to make sure, if you haven't already and you've heard me talking about that design tools to get to 100K Masterclass and you haven't yet joined me, please do so. It's 100% free and it's going to blow your mind. We get incredible feedback from this session and it's going to help you to see design differently, to start making professional graphics, to build out your proper brand, and to see me working inside Canva in a way that's going to change the way that you use it, start to get real results from it for your business. Because using Canva, having a great brand, doing design shouldn't just be about looking pretty. It's about connecting with your audience. It's about setting you up as a professional and getting people to trust you at a glance instead of someone seeing your Instagram and thinking, you know what, that doesn't gel with me, or that doesn't look professional, or they look pretty new in business, or I don't understand what they're putting down, or that doesn't look like it's for me. If people are coming to your page and they're seeing this, or they're seeing your post, or they're seeing your flyer and they're not connecting with you, and they should be because they're an ideal client, then design is usually the thing that's putting them off. And so this session is going to help you to start taking advantage of design for your business so you can start making more sales, use Canva confidently, save more time, and start to grow your business the way that you're dreaming of. So I hope you join me for that session. Just head to whitedeer.com.au/design masterclass. All the links are in the description and you can join me for that session. And I cannot wait to hear what you think. And if you're looking for more support and you want to do this even better, make sure you're joining me in my program made just for business owners. It's called DIY Design Biz. And inside that program, I teach you absolutely everything you need to know, from creating your own brand from scratch to using Canva strategically, to how to create social posts and flyers and every single graphic you need for your business. There's tutorials, there's support, there's everything you need to succeed as a business owner creating their own graphics. So join me for any of those things that sound fun to you. If you're looking for that free next step, jump into that 100K Design Tools Masterclass and you won't regret it. I'll see you there.